Welcome back, my dear children of class 10. Today we are going to learn digestion. Digested food is absorbed and then assimilated by the cell. That is absorption and assimilation. This we have learned is the third step, right? That is absorption and then assimilation. So let us continue. So far in the last video, I have explained how the food is digested in different parts of the digestive system. So today we will learn this process in detail. So in the last video, you have understood how, in the small intestine that the food is completely digested. Digestion starts in the mouth and the various components of the food are digested in different parts of the digestive system, and finally in the small intestine that digestion is completed. So all that simpler products that we have seen, carbohydrates are digested into glucose, proteins are digested into simple soluble molecules called amino acids, and fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. So these substances, where do these substances have to go? They have to go into the cells. So it's not the small intestine going to the cells and giving. The small intestine is surrounded by blood vessels. So the blood absorbs these simple soluble products, and then from the blood, or it is the blood which circulates it to all body cells, to go to all organs, and in each organ it gives it to the cells. So the digested food is absorbed by the blood, and blood circulates the nutrients to all body cells. So the simple soluble product going into the blood, which is called absorption, and then from the blood it is going to all cells of the body. This is called the assimilation. So we have learned assimilation, and then utilize it. The cells utilize it for various purposes, various life processes. So absorption and assimilation. Now let's see how the small intestine structure is suitable for absorbing the food materials. First, let us understand that, and then we'll learn more about the absorption. Now see, this is the small intestine tube, isn't it? And inside this, you can see from the inner wall of the small intestine, you can see the small finger-like projection. Okay, just think about it. This is the intestine cavity, and this is the wall of the small intestine, and from this wall arise small finger-like projections. Okay, and you can magnify. If you magnify, you can see it like this. See, finger-like, finger-shaped, finger-like the projections. These are called the villi. Singular is villus. Okay, so intestinal villi. So this villi increases the surface area of the small intestine. Just think about, if it was a straight line, then the surface area is less. But because this is in foldings like this, okay, this finger-like projections are there towards the cavity. So what happens? The small intestine surface area is increased. Okay, so this villus is there. So let us see this enlarged image. So these are the finger-like projections from the inner wall of the small intestine. Okay, so this increases the surface area for action or for absorption. Now let's see how is it, the internal structure of the villus. See, the villus, see this is the outer wall, and inside there is a cavity. So this is made up of epithelial cells. Okay, epithelial, the wall or the outer covering of the villi are made up of epithelial cells. So that is what is shown here. This is the epithelial cell, and this is the inside cavity. And this inside cavity, what is there? Blood vessels. These are the blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels, and this is called the lacteal. Lacteal means it is lymph gland. Okay, so these blood vessels and the lacteals, okay, that is these are absorbing the digested food materials. So what is happening is amino acid, the protein digestion, protein is digested to amino acid, and carbohydrates are digested to monosaccharide. Monosaccharide means a simple sugar. Now what is a simple sugar? We have learned glucose. So amino acid, glucose, and some amount of fatty acids are directly absorbed into the blood. Okay, so this is a blood vessel. So from the intestinal, villi, and this villi, this epithelial cells have a small projections which are called a microvilli. So in the villus, what is there? The epithelial cells are modified into what is called a microvilli, and this microvilli that is absorbing the digested food, and the digested food amino acids and monosaccharide or glucose. Monosaccharide is simple sugar. Glucose go into the blood vessels, and some short chain fatty acids also will move into the blood vessels. Now blood takes it to the two different parts of the cell. And see, what is the lacteal? Please understand. Larger lipid molecules cannot that they do not go into the blood vessels. They will go into what is called the lacteals, lymph vessels, and there the lipids are again joined with the proteins to form again complex. It becomes complex again. So what is that? Is called a chylomicron droplets. Chylomicron. So this is lipoprotein, lipids plus some proteins are here, and that will join with. In this, lipoprotein is in the lacteal, and lacteal, the lymph is also a fluid like blood. You have already learned in class 9 or so. So through the lymph, this chylomicron droplets go into the liver. Okay, it is taken to the liver. It will finally join into the blood and then go into the liver. Have you understood? So this is one villi enlarged, and it's internally it has the lacteals and the blood vessels or blood capillary, which is taking the nutrients. Okay. Then comes okay, these questions we'll see after a bit. See, let us okay. See, I hope you can answer the questions now. How is small intestine designed to absorb digested food? This is what I was explaining. Answer is written here. Inner lining of the intestine has numerous finger-like projections called the villi, which increase the surface area for absorption. And this villi has microvilli, that is, its wall is the epithelial cell surrounding it has the small projection, that is microvilli, which is absorbing and give it to the cavity, and this villi are richly supplied with blood vessels and lymph vessels. I showed you lacteals, and we have seen the blood vessels means blood capillaries. Okay, so the blood vessels and or blood capillaries and the lymph vessels, which absorb the digested food and send to all cells of the body. All cells of the body. Now next question, name the site of complete digestion of food. Name the site of complete digestion of food. So what is it? Small intestine. Okay, small intestine in the duodenum and the jejunum parts, and most of the absorption is taken from the ileum. Okay, so name the site of complete digestion. You can answer small intestine. And then which is the site of absorption of water in the alimentary canal? That is large intestine. And why are larger molecules broken down? Okay, why are larger molecules broken down? So let us see. Okay, so this was the question mark. So why are large molecules of food broken down? I hope you can answer now. So that the micromolecules or larger molecules are broken down into simple soluble materials of molecules so that they can enter into the cell. Please write the answers in your notebook. Then this is about the absorption of food. Okay. So just I want to tell you one more thing. The chylomicron droplets are carried to the liver, and in the liver, this adipose tissue, that is fat storing tissue. Some of them are stored in the, some of the fat, because fat is not oxidized for energy, used for other purpose, for cell membrane, for membrane biogenesis and all, membrane formation and all. So some are stored in the liver, then some amount is stored in the, under the skin, then around the blood vessels. Okay. And whenever the body needs, it is taken from there and utilized. Okay. So this is it. And so again, let us revise. So the enzyme amylase site of action, this salivary amylase released in the mouth, and pancreatic amylase released in the duodenum. So starch is finally digested to glucose. In the mouth it was maltose, now in the duodenum it is completely digested to glucose. Then protease, okay, wherever ASE is there, that is enzyme, remember. So protease means protein digesting enzyme. Okay, amylase is carbohydrate digesting enzyme. Okay, protease is protein digesting enzyme. Where are they present? In the stomach as well as in the duodenum. So proteins are completely digested to amino acid. And then lipase is present in the pancreatic lipase released to the duodenum. Fat is digested to fatty acids and glycerol. So absorption of these simple compounds that we have learned, it's taking place in the small intestine. Then so far, so the digestion and absorption we have already learned fully. Now let's revise again. See the whole story, okay, of digestion. Let us see, let us revise this again. So what is written here? One sec. See what is written here. Food is taken through the mouth. I'll just lower it down. See, mechanism of digestion. So whatever you have learned till now, it is summarized in this. Okay. So in the oral cavity or buccal cavity is the mouth. Okay, cavity of the mouth, which is called oral cavity or buccal cavity. So what is happening there? Food is taken through the mouth. Isn't it? Ingestion. We ingest the food through the mouth, and the teeth break down the food and mixes with the saliva secreted by salivary glands. Okay, and the saliva contains two enzymes. This is just revision. I have already explained it in the last videos. Okay, so salivary amylase and lysozyme. And salivary amylase, what is the work? 30% hydrolysis of the, hydrolysis means digestion. Okay, when the complex compounds are broken down by the addition of water, it's called a hydrolysis. Okay, lysis means breaking down, hydro means water. So digestion is hydrolysis also. So 30% of the starch is digested in the mouth, and we have seen what are formed, maltose, isomaltose, dextrin, etc. And what is the role of lysozyme? Lysozyme has antibacterial activity. Means any bacteria, any microbe enters along with the food, okay, they cannot infect us. It will be killed by lysozyme. So these two are the enzymes in the mouth. So what is happening in the mouth? Chewing, isn't it? We chew the food. One word, we can say we chew the food, breaks food into smaller particles. This is physical breakdown. Then saliva moistens and lubricate the food, forming what is formed? Bolus. Okay, remember? It is what is that moistened food which is called a bolus, which is ready for swallowing. Bolus is swallowed and moves through the esophagus by, what is it, peristalsis movement. Okay, so this is what is happening in the mouth. So starch plus salivary amylase, that is salivary amylase is the enzyme. Starch is hydrolyzed or digested to maltose and some amount of isomaltose. Okay, these are also simple carbohydrate, but it has to be further broken down to glucose. So partial, as I told you, partial digestion of food is taking place. So you understood? This is all what's happening in the mouth. Then we come to the stomach. Sac-like esophagus में digestion नहीं है. Esophagus by peristalsis food is moved to the stomach. So in the stomach, what is there? Gastric glands are there and mucosa, sorry, gastric glands in the mucosa lining. Mucosa is the inner layer of the stomach, okay, inner wall. So mucus is produced by cells called neck cells. So mucus is produced, peptic cells are there which produces pepsinogen. I told you this is inactive enzyme. When the food is there, it is activated to become pepsin. Then parietal or oxyntic cells produce HCl. So we have learned the secretion, mucus, pepsin and HCl. Okay. Then the food mixes with the gastric juices. So this is overall gastric juice contains these enzyme and these substances. So the food mixes with gastric juices by churning movement. Remember I told you food is churned in the stomach. Okay. Churning means, you know, curd is churned to become the buttermilk. Okay. अच्छे से मम्मी churn करते हैं ना. So the same thing happening in the stomach. The food is nicely churned and it is converted into a what is called a chyme. So the chyme is the semi-digested acidic and pulpy food. Remember I told you why HCl is there? To provide acidic medium, because for the pepsin action acidic medium is required. Food comes from the mouth is slightly alkaline because saliva is slightly alkaline. So that alkalinity is neutralized and provide acidic medium for the pepsin to act. So let us see the gastric juice contents and their action. HCl provides the acidic pH and also remember this also kills the microbes. HCl kills the microbes also, bacteria or microbes which may enter along with the food. Then pepsinogen is the inactive enzyme which is called a proenzyme, which is converted into active enzyme pepsin. So HCl converts proenzyme pepsinogen to pepsin. Pepsin is the active enzyme. And pepsin converts proteins into peptones and proteoses. So this is also partial breakdown. This should be completely broken down to amino acid. Okay. Should be completely broken down to amino acid. So protein into peptones and proteoses. Then prorenin, that is I told you renin is another enzyme which is a proenzyme. But a proenzyme means inactive. It is inactive. Whenever it is not required, whenever food is not there, they will not be active. If they are active, they will destroy the stomach wall. So pro means inactive. Okay. So proenzyme which is converted into renin. ये भी HCl का काम है. HCl converts prorenin to renin when the milk is there. So renin is the milk protein digesting enzyme. Casein is the milk protein is called casein and which is converted into peptides by renin. So this is the function of gastric juice. All these are the roles of gastric juice. So gastric juice contains what all we have learned. And there is one question asked, what is the role of mucus? Mucus is very important because this HCl can destroy the stomach wall. So mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach from the action of HCl or enzyme. Okay. Then we come to the next part, small intestine. So what are the parts of the small intestine? Remember, I told you duodenum, jejunum. Jejunum is the highly coiled part and ileum. Okay, these are the three parts of the small intestine. And the stomach say from the stomach what is coming? Chyme, the churned food, churned and digested, partially digested food is coming. So chyme is further mixed and churned here again by peristalsis. So peristalsis we have learned is the movement of all the parts of the digestive organ so that the food is uh, pushed forward. So by peristalsis, the chyme from the stomach is coming to the small intestine. So small intestine, first part is the duodenum we have learned, and in the duodenum the pancreatic and liver juices come. Enzymes of the pancreas and the liver juices that help in breakdown and absorption of the food into the blood. Then, pancreatic juices break down carbohydrate and protein. So complete breaking down of the carbohydrates and protein taking place. So here that the glucose and amino acids are formed. Then intestinal juices also, almost digestion is completed here, and whatever is left, intestinal juices also have certain enzyme. So break down carbohydrate and proteins here completely into glucose and amino acids. The whole proteins are now digested to amino acid, and the carbohydrates are digested to glucose. Okay. So what is the liver secretion? We have already learned the liver function, emulsification of the fat, isn't it? So the bile is the liver secretion which converts the fat globules into fat droplets by the process emulsification. Emulsify means large chunks of fat are broken down physically into small droplets. Okay, and this is called the emulsification. So that is why liver has a very important role. In the last class I have explained. Okay, bile emulsifies the fat, then only fat can be digested by the lipases. Okay. Now pancreatic lipase convert triglycerides into fatty acids and glycerol. Triglycerides means the intermediate compounds of the, fats are triglycerides chemically. So it's converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So digestion. And then after all this digestion is completed, then what happens? Absorption and assimilation. Just I have explained just before. Absorption and assimilation. Absorbed by the blood and lacteals, isn't it? Blood vessels and the lacteals, and assimilated upon reaching the target. Every organ, the blood circulates the digested food, and the cells assimilate and utilize it for various purposes. Okay, so digestion is completed, absorption is complete. Now, what is the role of large intestine? See, revise large intestine parts. Isn't it? Large intestine begins at a part called the cecum, then ascending colon, transverse colon, and descending colon, and then rectum, and the opening is the anus. Now, what is done in the large intestine? Let us revise. Significantly less digestive activity. There is no digestive enzyme, so no part of digestion is completed in the small intestine. So no digestive role, but another important function is done by large intestine, isn't it? It secretes mucus that helps in lubrication and holding up of the waste particles. So whichever food is not digested in the digestive system, it is a waste which has to be eliminated. So that along with water come to the large intestine. So large intestine secretes mucus that helps in lubrication and holding up the waste particles. Okay. It should not be dry, so it should be with the water. Then undigested and unabsorbed fecal matter. Fecal matter is the waste and undigested food I told you, which is passed to the rectum. Isn't it? Rectum stores this undigested food along with some water. Okay, and the fecus is digested. So last part of the nutrition is digestion. So digestion is done through the anus. So this is the role of the large intestine. Then some bacteria, many useful bacteria grows in the colon or large intestine, which act on leftover of food particles. Okay, so they are useful for, they are not harmful bacteria. Normally these bacteria grow in the large intestine, which helps to they act on the leftover of the food particles. So it is converted into smaller particles so that it can be easily passed through the anus. Then some minerals are absorbed and water. See, all that water cannot be lost through the anus. So body needs the water. So what some much amount of water is absorbed by the large intestine, and only the required amount to pass the fecal matter. Some amount of water is required for easy movement. Okay, bowel movement it is called. So for bowel movement, whatever water is required, it is there. Rest is absorbed by the large intestine. Then certain drugs and all is absorbed by the large intestine. So large intestine का भी important role है. Okay. So this is it. And now we will learn a little more. Just see here, some parasite infecting the digestive system and causing us diseases. They are harmful. Okay. I told you bacteria live in the large intestine. Normally they are useful for breaking down these leftovers of food. Okay. But there are certain microbes, if they enter into the body, they can harm us, they can cause disease like tapeworm, hookworm, pinworm, roundworm, threadworm, then certain viruses, but certain other kind of bacteria. So all these microbes, if they enter along with the food, if we are not in, that is why the food has to be taken in a hygienic condition, isn't it? Our body and food, like I told you, food should not be kept open, then these microbes can enter into the food. Okay, so these microbes will cause the disease. Okay, dirty, in unhygienic condition, we should not live. Always we should maintain cleanliness to avoid the infection by these microbes. And some of the digestive system disorders are there: jaundice, nausea and vomiting, blood in stool, isn't it? Stool means this fecal matter. Okay, so fecal matter may normally blood nahi hote, but if we are diseased, blood in stool, then peptic ulcers are there, then diarrhea, then gallstones, etc. These are some of the disorders. Okay, so many of these disorders or infection from these microorganisms we can avoid by keeping hygienic condition. So we completed the process of nutrition. So thank you very much. If you like this, if you have understood this portion, please like and subscribe this video. Okay, then next video will come with the respiration, another life process. Okay, thank you very much.